afternoon, my lovelies. What it do, what it do, what it do. This Miss Yaakov coming straight from that Spiker Star, a.k.a. the Messenger, a.k.a. the Virgo Goddess, a.k.a. the Daughters of Zion, a.k.a. that Topaz Gem Sapphire. And listen, always have a message for you, but it's up to you to discern what Miss Yaakov is trying to say. Remember, I'm just the outsider looking into your world, see things that you just don't see, okay? But think this, the name of this is called Hippocracy of the Christian Doctrine, the Beheaded. Or beheading. Okay, this right here, that's the machine or the equipment that they use for the persecution or the execution. Okay, you put your head there, you see the blade, okay, and it cuts off. The blade is used to cut this part, cut the head, okay, the beheaded. Now here's the hypocrisy. 1 Corinthians, this is in their doctrine, by the way. I don't worship the Christian doctrine, but in their doctrine in 1 Corinthians 15-52, it says, in a moment, in the twinkle of an eye, at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised, incorruptible, and we shall be changed, okay? So in Paul's letters, it's promising them that they should be changed into their spiritual bodies. Okay, that's what Paul is promising his converts, okay? Then at the same time, in Revelation 20-4, it says, and I saw the souls of them that had been beheaded for the witness of Jesus, that had not worshipped the beast and reigned with Christ 1,000 years. Okay, and let me just say this, right, because somebody brought this to my attention, and it was like telling me that I should be expecting something in the mail in reference to the beheading. I'm like, what? I don't worship y'all doctrine. That's number one. Number two, if you knew that this beheaded, okay, with this beheading is coming in your area, it would make logical sense, okay, to leave those buildings, flee from those 501c3 buildings, because they're coming up in those 501c3 buildings that's operated by Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, they're coming up inside those buildings, and this is all religion, right on down to the masjid, to the synagogue. Okay, and then on top of it, 1 Corinthians 15-52, it doesn't sound right. Not with, Revelation 20-4. Revelation 20-4 don't sound right. You want to know why? Because Ezekiel 18-20, that says the soul that sins is the soul that dies, okay? And then Revelation 20-4 is talking about the beheaded. Okay, so it just doesn't sound right. And then on top of it, in 1 Corinthians 15-52, it's promising them to be changed into their spiritual bodies. What's the purpose of going through Revelation 20-4? What's the sense of being beheaded? It would make logical sense. It would make logical sense to be part of 1 Corinthians 15-52 than to be part of Revelation 20-4. If anything, they might want to catch the first flight. That's the thing. Catch the first flight. Why miss the flight? Why miss the first flight in 1 Corinthians 15-52 just to be executed and beheaded in Revelation 20-4? Like, what's the sense of all that? That just doesn't make any sense. That's the hypocrisy right there. It's promising you one thing in 1 Corinthians 15-52, and then Revelation 20-4 is saying something totally different, okay? And this is why I don't get down with the whole Christian doctrine. And not only that, okay, but Isaiah 7-14 made it quite clear that it's Emmanuel. It don't say anything about Jesus. It doesn't. And then on top of it, okay, the Pope died this year. He was 88 years old. Jesus, this person that they talking about, Jesus, never showed up not one time during the Pope's life on earth. So that should tell you something. If he didn't show up during the Pope's time on earth, why are they getting beheaded in Revelation 20:4? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Do anybody understand is that once you leave, once you take your last and final breath in physical form, that's it. You have no dealings with this physical realm. You're not in the physical body. And with that being said, the dead knows nothing. So their souls don't have anything to do or have no knowledge of Jesus. Okay? It just doesn't. Okay? It just doesn't. And it's sad that these people are willing to get beheaded in Revelation 20:4 just for their souls to be rejected. Okay? Because again, this person named Jesus never showed up during the Pope's lifetime on this earth, okay, which means he does not exist, okay, he does not exist. So they're going to go through Revelation 20:4 to turn around and have their souls still be rejected, okay, church hurt, okay, their souls are going to get that church hurt, okay, church hurt, okay, it just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't, that they promising them something, they promising something glorious in 1 Corinthians 15:52, but then in Revelation 20:4, it's telling them that they have to be beheaded. It doesn't make any sense. If anything, what's the sense of Revelation 20:4 when they could be part of 1 Corinthians 15:52? Can we just make it make sense? Can we just make it make sense? Because it just doesn't make any sense. And then this beheaded business, okay, has something to do with the 2/3, because it's all part of the 2/3 as well. Okay, make no mistake about that. But that is just such a shame, okay? Such a shame. And I tried to tell these people, flee those buildings. Leave those 501c3 buildings. They don't want to leave those buildings. Guess what? It's one of them situations where they're going to mess around and find out. And unfortunately, it's going to be too late. And that's something that they're going to have to deal with for the rest of their lives, that they made a stupid, poor choice following behind Paul and his letters and this foolishness that's going on in the fake New Testament, rather than and sometimes along this faith, you have to do some detours. You got to do some extended research and some detours. And they never took the time to do extended research and detours, that they're willing to participate in Revelation 20:4 to get beheaded just for their souls to get church hurt at the door, rejected. Okay, because Isaiah 7:14 says Emmanuel. Okay, it says Emmanuel. It don't say anything about no Jesus. Okay, this is a bit ridiculous with this beheaded and this persecution. And it's going to be all religions, okay, from the synagogue to the masjid to all the Christian denominations. All of them are going to be facing beheaded. They're all going to be beheaded for what they believe in, okay, just to turn around and get church hurt at the end, get rejected at the end, okay, because God do not know them. Okay, he does not know any one of these individuals, okay, and it's just so sad, very, very sad, okay. That's why Hosea says, my people are destroyed from a lack of knowledge, okay. These people never took the time to research what they was believing in, call themselves following behind man. When it comes down to your soul, okay, you don't follow behind man. You don't follow behind nobody. You better make sure, okay, that you're believing in the right stuff, because you don't want to risk your soul, okay, and you don't want to be persecuted for something, okay, that don't exist. That's just like the Pope, okay. He never showed up during the Pope's time on earth, okay. And another one of the reverends, his wife had passed away, okay, and Jesus never showed up yet again during his wife's time, okay. They spent that whole time in that Baptist church, and Jesus never showed up, okay. And now it's too late, because their souls don't have no knowledge of anything in the physical realm, and they don't know anybody named Jesus, okay. But anywho, I'm about to get off this. It's the daughters of Zion, that spiker star, the brightest star of the constellation. Okay, looking into your world, the topaz gem, looking into your world, see things you just don't see. I'm going.